Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today is another LEGO Top 10 Mocks of the Week episode where I show you guys the coolest custom creations I happen to see people building in LEGO throughout this last week. Like always, there's just way more than 10 cool creations to talk about. Links to everybody mentioned are in the description below, plus a whole lot more. And a link to our web store, www.brickvault.toys, is also linked in the description below. We sell PDF instructions for custom LEGO builds. The designers we work with are absolutely amazing. And the latest creation to enter the store is the Separatist Battle Pack with the Droideka, Dwarf Spider Droid, and different color staps. So anyways, links to everything I'm talking about are all in the description below. If you enjoy our content, you can always like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever it is that you want to do. Let's jump right in with some honorable mentions. Peter Brookdale seems to be making some headway on his absolutely massive ATM-6. I believe that's 1.5 minifig scale. Love the look of this vintage police car from Victor. The doors even open up. Here's another amazing scene from Nathan Spith titled Bilbo Waits for Frodo. Pascal titled this build Sub Shuttle, and it's a very clean, symmetrical, unique little build. Ivan Martinoff titled this Gentle Giant. You can see some Iron Giant influences here with a much more fun and interestingly shaped retro red body. I love that little Christmas tree. Maybe it's a Christmas tree. Dan Coes titled this Sugar Ghost N1 Speeder. He also has an article on Brickset about the process of building LEGO speeders. Definitely worth a read. Ted Andy's Corsair Parallax has some amazing color gradation and really seamless blends between system bricks and Technic pieces. Plus, check out that little red stripe from the sticker matching up with the plate. I swear to you, I had this exact idea in mind forever ago, but Omar R. Ovale beat me to it. This is Kaneda's bike scaled perfectly with a Technic figure. It was that red jumpsuit that set me off. Pask67 did some very appropriate LEGO Baby Yoda Christmas pics. Chris Perron titled this the Nebula Navigator, and there's essentially not a single regular connection for any of these pieces. It's all unique and weird shapes making up this micro starship. The title from Nick Brick is It's Always Sunny in Legoland. I cut off the bottom bit of this photo. If you want to see the full thing, go for it if you can find the link in the description. Something tells me this is going to be a popular little recreation from Luis Pena. This is the Mythosaur skull pendant, and it looks to be life-size. I'm not really sure how big these are normally in the Star Wars universe. Here's another 4-stud wide from Ishawi Kazuri. I'm telling you, awesome micro cars, definitely worth your time. Makushima built a simple enduro motorcycle. I have not seen a Technic bike at this size look so nice. Here's another Christmas build from Norton 74, just a slightly different angle. Love the scene. Zito Vince took this picture of some of his awesome builds. That Joker is still one of my personal favorite that I have seen throughout the last couple years. Here's a Gingerbread House from Blue Builder, and if everything here is supposed to be candy, maybe those are gummy reindeer. Caleb Saw titled this the Temple of Twin Monkeys, and we have an excellent color contrast here. Here's a commissioned build from Aaron Newman. The names of these little puppies is Indigo and Harmony. They're extremely lifelike. I enjoy the technique for making the eyes particularly. Tobias Moonzert built the LEGO Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Coupe from 1955, and this is Esmeralda from Arrow O'Conan. Excellent figure builder. Alrighty, let's jump into top 10 now. Remember, it's not really in any particular order of best to worst, just 10 creations I absolutely love. From Finn Roberts, this is the Imperial Field Transport. I believe this is 100% a creative design based off of just the Star Wars universe in general. I absolutely love this angular shape that we have for this transport. It feels very much in tune with the Star Wars universe, and it looks like the perfect size of a transport to maybe hold an AT-ST, a cargo pod, or any variation of smaller troop land transport vehicles as well. Particularly the head and shape of the front of this transport really feels very Star Wars-esque. It kind of reminds me of an elongated version of the head of an AT-AT, if you can see what I mean. Patrick's Biggs titled this KINGMARSHY. Gold and black really contrast well, especially against that white beard that looks very well trimmed. The staggered tooth end of the hammer is a nice detail. I also like the rib and or muscular details for the macaroni pieces in black along the torso, and this figure holds an excellent stance. There's also a nice shape for the elbows and arms. Number 8, jumping down, is from Verteinert. This is titled Ready for Christmas, and we have just an awesome old school looking 1950s car. Somebody tell me what type of hatchback or Volkswagen wagon. What are we looking at here? I'm not totally sure what this build is directly representative of, but what I do know is that the techniques used to make this model are awesome. Check out that subtle angle used to get for the windscreen. What on earth is that binocular looking piece towards the front? I've seen it on another one of his builds and I just don't know where it came from. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments below. And why have we not seen more of these plant pieces used to make up pine needles for the Christmas tree? Excellent use of the brown stud gun for the base of the trunk. And we're jumping on over to Caleb Ricks, who built a T-70 X-Wing, supposed to be Snap Wexleys. And forgive me if this is an actual color combination within the Star Wars universe, but it does feel like an old school Space Police color combination for this vehicle. The techniques for the shape of this body are absolutely awesome. And now we're moving on to number 6. This is a combination of 3 different builds. There is a story being told with this, not vignette, but small diorama. From the builder Simulterious, this is Searching Ambria. I'm not going to explain the story to you, but instead let you see these 3 different developments, and perhaps you can piece some of it together yourself. Remember, links to everything's in the description below. The world itself is quite interesting. It's not your standard desert Star Wars scene. There's these steamy kinds of blue puddles, a completely different kind of architecture from what you normally see on Tatooine, and just a wonderful set of scenes to help play out a story. DOGOD Brick Design titled this Santa, You Break My Chimney, and that's exactly it. It looks like he was not intending to do that, but he's been eating too many of those cookies. Love the design for the belly. You have that fun detail of the coat overlapping one side underneath the belt, which works really well. The shape for his dismayed face is awesome. I love the thin little loopy arms used too from those arch brick pieces, and the whole scene is just set incredibly well. Number 4, if you're keeping track of the numbers, is from First Order Lego, and the title is It's Too Bad He Won't Live, but then again, who does? It's a collaborative build from Rebel Lug inspired by the latest Cyberpunk 2077, and everything you see here, minus the rain effects, is done in Lego bricks. So the scaffolding overhang, the minifigures, and yes, all of the buildings and lights behind, all Lego. I mean, not the light source itself, but those are all different colored Lego bricks and building details that make up the entire backdrop, and it looks so good. I love this forced perspective. It makes the city seem like this absolutely massive, all-encompassing, inescapable kind of scenario, and they feel pretty realistic and lifelike with the blur and out-of-focus effect that we have. There's a full YouTube video on the actual making of this particular model. Everything's linked in the description below if you want to learn more about these builders or their build techniques. And then this is something that I've had in my mind for a while to talk about, and someone finally made a great example from Shield and Sword Bricks. This is Highview Castle, and a lot of Roman numerals that obviously represent a date. You can check it out in the description, but I have heard builders talk about this before, and that is that if you give a model enough shadow and enough tiny little crevices, you may not need to add too many different colors to your actual building piece. This is all done in light gray, and all of these tiles have been separated by maybe half a stud or something. What that does is create a bit of shadow in between each of them, and it doesn't make the build really necessarily need to have dark gray or dark tan or light tan underneath these bricks, and there's enough weathered detailing for this small castle structure, even though it's all built in one solid color. Personally, I think it looks great, and it's an idea that we played with initially when my brother was designing the gigantic Yavin 4 diorama and thinking about the color for the bricks in between those tan pieces. Anyways, this was just something I definitely wanted to talk about. And then number 2 is byMartin. It's literally the name, byMartin, and it's a 2020 Nativity Scene. I personally love the build techniques here. I absolutely cannot get over the wedge pieces used for the stairs. This is great. The tan pin pieces for the rooftop is a really excellent effect. And I also enjoy the brown flexi tube used as perhaps wood detailing around the edge of the well. There's some other subtle things to appreciate in this build, but it seems very clean and very well put together, and I just thought it was something definitely worth pointing out for this week. Let's check out the last build from the designer Alex Jones. This is an extremely interesting design. Only a couple of photos can be seen. This is the Lowrider Chevy 64 Impala, built in the light yellow. Initially, this design started by taking apart the original Fiat 500 Creator set, which makes sense, but then this guy went all out. He chromed out a bunch of pieces, and really the thing that brought me here was the hydraulics that he managed to implement at the bottom of this creation. This is not something you see every day from a Lego builder. In fact, I have not seen a hydraulic system like this implemented into any Lego car ever, and it's done so well here, I have a feeling it's going to be extremely hard to top if somebody wants to try to one-up the Chevy Impala. I personally like this type of function a lot more than just being able to drive around. RC cars are way more fun than remote-controlled Lego vehicles, so as a display piece, this actually works, I think, a bit better, just being able to manipulate its height and angles in one solid static position. Anyways, this build has got more personality and character than I would say most other larger creator-style cars that I've seen in a very, very long time. And this is the last of the top 10 mock videos for the year 2020. We might have a top custom video coming for you for the entire year of 2020, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Remember, we do have that web store linked in the description below and links to all the designers and everybody. Remember, everything's in the video. If you enjoy our content, you can always like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever it is that you feel like doing, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.